So obviously these pro players, if any, can make the hero work. But if it is an under-leveled hero, it feels very underwhelming. So we'll see what kind of start he can get off to. We'll also see what role he ends up in. Again, that's something that the Dazzle offers you early on, and that's why you see J.Storm, mulling their picks over quite a bit, because there's still flexibility to this draft from compLexity. We could have already seen their 2 supports. Maybe we only see 1. Maybe we see none. With a 2-1-3 Dazzle Juggernaut Nyx. But I think that's the least likely scenario. In any case, we'll see the PA come out for J.Storm. Again, we talked about, last game, counters to the Juggernaut. That physical burst is one of the things that really does work against the Jug. And we did see compLexity pick up that 5th pick PA. In the last game. Of course, didn't fare so well for Miracle, but that was more because of the Juggernaut, Ogre, Warlock tri-lane than it was the PA being a bad pick necessarily. We definitely didn't see compLexity consider the lanes enough. Another thing we can touch on just quickly from that first draft is that they did pick the Timbersaw into the Dazzle mid lane. So they knew they were in a disadvantageous matchup there, but they took it anyways for comfort. They ended up losing 2 out of 3 lanes pretty substantially. So weren't able to really recover from that just with the farm they got on the Enigma. And they'll pick up Limp's Batrider here, more than likely. There is a possibility, of course, that Death does play this, but this is, for me at least, one of Limp's signature heroes. We did see Forev do very well on it last game. It's a tough ask though. This Batrider game, more perhaps than the previous one. Reason being is you've got 2 heroes that can sort of counter initiate the bat. One being the OD Astral Imprisonment, and 2 being the Earth Spirit with his kit. Of course, Earth Spirit not as good. He, with the Boulder Smash stun being moved to the Rolling Boulder, he's not as good of a counter to Batrider, but still. You have the natural save in the OD. If you were to get one more save, be it a Yule's Scepter, I know you can't Yule's an ally, but you can Yule's the Bat, or anything of that sort, maybe a Lotus, you feel pretty good about this Batrider's toolkit. Pugna Band comes out. That's just another great OD counter. And, right now, it does seem like they think the 2 supports are the Dazzle and the Nyx. And we'll see if that's the case. And that does end up being the case, it seems, unless we see a support Batrider, which is also possible. But Doom, just another fantastic counter against OD. Don't really care if you're BKB'd, as long as you can't use your Arcane Orb. You're really not very effective as a hero. So Doom's job all game long is simply to just Doom that OD. And he's not really a very natural Linken's builder. So just a difficult matchup for the OD, and that's what happens when you give the pick that much precedence to take it in the first phase. Still not an absolute deal breaker for the OD, of course. Doom is quite weak to physical damage, so PA can deal with him pretty well. He has very low armor, high base HP, but low armor. And we'll likely see the 3 position to come out for J.Storm here. Wouldn't be too surprised to see something like a Centaur. Stampede, very good versus Doom. Also kind of good versus the Juggernaut. When he omnis, you can just scatter and Stampede. But something along those lines, maybe a Brewmaster. Not really sure, but they are going to want to look for some control here. You've got 2 heroes in the OD and the PA that want to right-click. And they need help doing that. So definitely looking for something disable heavy in the 3 role for J.Storm. Okay. Surprised that was available at this point in the game. I mean, generally we see this Magnus banned out in the first phase, never mind in a PA lineup. And that definitely offers some control. It also offers, it basically guarantees that what happened to Miracle last game on the PA can't happen to Mu this game. He may fall behind, but he'll never be significantly behind as Miracle was. And he did make an admirable comeback in the last game, but to no avail, unfortunately. So Forev going to be playing on the Magnus, and he is definitely a confident Magnus player. So Forev getting a couple of heroes that he's very comfortable with in the last couple of games. Fear going to be playing the Earth Spirit. Interestingly enough, we'll see if he absorbed enough from Crit in their time together, and we'll see what his Earth Spirit looks like in this game. But that's an interesting one for sure. It is Limp's mid lane Dazzle, and it is going to be the support Bat Rider. It is the support Bat Rider for Monkeys. This is a hero he plays quite a bit, at least in pubs, from what I see. So he should be comfortable on it. Z-Freak can make any hero work. But it is a 5-position Bat Rider for compLexity. Have to feel like March has got the upper hand in both drafts so far in this series, but who am I really to say that this compLexity draft could not work out? They definitely have some good tools to deal with the cores of J.Storm. Having the Doom, having the Mana Burn, even the Lasso. But it is going to be into a PA Magnus lineup. Good old PA Magnus. That's a cool taunt. Haven't seen that one all too often. And her hit, like, just watch this stance after, if he stands still for a second. PA gotta have some broken hips, man. What the heck? That's broken hips, dude. You know, we'll see an osteopath fix that. In any case, we'll see what else has gotten done. They've pretty much symmetrical wards down here in the mid. Mu had a fantastic game on the Jugger as he watched his counterpart, the PA, struggle last game. It'll now be the reverse lineup in this game too. Miracle on the Juggernaut and Mu on the PA. And just something to note, both players, excuse me, had Arcanas on both heroes. So if you want to be pro in Dota 2, guys, get your Arcana. That's the first step. Fear does connect 1-for-1 on the rolling boulders for the Fear Earth Spirit. Z-Freak in trouble here. They do force out the Frost Blast skill at this level. Well, the Earth Spirit having a little bit of trouble with the trees there. Does have another roll. Does not want to use it just yet. He is uphill now and will connect 2 for 2. Fear equals crit confirmed. So far, again, we see this 1v1. So compLexity willing to... perhaps this is why they picked a support Bat Rider, because they knew they'd be going aggressive tri-lane. But a good early start for J.Storm in this one. They do not have the Frost Armor, which is unfortunate. And March, usually you see Mango build early on the Lich, but being he's such a hard 5 here, he's really out of resources at this point, and he may be just dead. Yeah. So they will trade, get the second kill of the game. March going to end up dropping. Might just kind of help him out to get back to base. He picks up a stick. So instead of the mangoes, he'll pick up a stick here. But he does have, of course, a fully replenished mana pool. Check out how mid lane is going. The Dazzle, once again, doing better than his counterpart in the lane. This time, the Dazzle's in the hands of Limp as opposed to his opponent. Mu so far 4 CS, the Juggernaut 7. So once again, the aggressive tri-laning carry is reaping the benefits of this configuration so far. And Earth Spirit certainly not known for his prowess as a tri-lane support. But that is one way to counter him, is to force him into a position like this where he can't make use of that roll in from Fog. But he was a carry player, so obviously a good last hitter is Fear. TI winning carry player at that. Yeah, bro, having a little bit of a struggle in mid. 6-2 to the 13-4 of the Dazzle, but most heroes do in this matchup. And OD not necessarily known for his early laning strength. A couple levels up in the Astral, you get a little bit better. 1-3-1 or something along those lines. Z-Freak just completely zoning. Miracle just sitting on creeps. Having a good time. Roll forward. Is going to connect onto Miracle. Two-man Boulder Smash is there as well. And Z-Freak should drop here. Mu, though, dropping low as well. Oh, the stick charges. Keeping him alive. And Mu takes a lot of punishment. Where this Fear may end up just dropping. He will, more than likely. Oh, stick. Frost Blast. Nice body block by Monkeys, however. And Monkeys forever looking for the kill here, but can't quite get it. He will cancel the salve. Boulder Smash is there, and he will now get the kill. Will he pay with his life, however? The Firefly is down. Tries to make a juke over to the right. This is well worth Mu's time because he's had trouble farming on the wave anyways. And now Z-Freak gonna run through. Firefly's back up again. And Monkeys, I talked about his familiarity with this hero, and he definitely knows how to play it. He's got 6 napalm stacks. Oh, Fear gonna whiff. 3 for 4 on the rolling boulders. And Mu in a lot of trouble. Trying to fog here, but the sticky napalm gives vision. Monkey's too slow. Monkey's making some great plays, and at least will buy some space for Miracle, who is 16-7 on the Juggernaut. Mu does end up surviving, though, and they do get the kill. So not completely ideal for the complexity side. Forev doing a little bit of shenanigans here, bottom lane, pulling. Trying to last it in the meantime with his illusions. And failing at it. It is not the easiest task, but to micro both simultaneously. Both the hero and the illusions, not both illusions. So yeah, this defensive tri-lane has been a little bit rough for J.Storm early on. Sort of as anticipated, I guess, if you look at the hero matchups. And the highest CS in the game so far is Death's Doom. For Cole, who will not miss a CS at the tower. Nicely played. So he's having a fantastic time. Although Forev is trailing him very closely on the Magnus. See how the OD's caught up mid. 15-3. He's still doubled up here by Limp. So having a rough time. Dazzle level 6, OD level 5. And the Radiant off to a fantastic start. Pretty much kind of stealing the strat of J.Storm in this one with the aggressive tri-lane with the Juggernaut. Into the PA. Z-Freak making a TP in towards mid as Fear's nearby. Shadow Wave is there, and the spiked, or the Impale, excuse me, will whiff. Oh, stick and haste. Oh, Fear looking for the, maybe should have did a loop-de-loop here into the Roche pit, but in any case, he was taken down to the Poison Touch. Meanwhile, top lane, Monkeys being a nuisance once again. TP in from Fear. Z-Freak gonna meet him. Roll will connect. Stifling Dagger. A couple more right clicks. Boulder Smash. And Monkeys will go down. Still, though, I mean, this is just fine for the complexity aggressive tri-lane. They have a solo experience farming Juggernaut in the lane. Mu has been forced out of it completely on his PA. Forev and Bryle will do a little bit of team bonding at the shrine. But this PA, again, level 3. 17 CS is not terrible. I mean, she's doing better than the previous Game 1 PA, but still not swimmingly by any means. But a pretty uneventful early game, all things considered. Z-Freak going to take out an Observer Ward. It's going to make this lane even tougher. Frost Armor from the north side going to be popped onto the tower, and March is nearby. Monkey's going to look to pincer him in, and they'll just give up the Lich. And this lane more or less over. A 4-1-1 build from Death. Very, very greedy build, but no really need for him to skill anything else in this lane. Roll through is going to connect, but it will be reflected. And now they've rotated in Bryle. The nice dodge from Bryle on the Impale, and the OD will get himself his first kill. A nice discipline play to give that last hit to the OD from his squad. Not an entirely inconsequential kill, especially considering how the lanes were going otherwise. Not sure what allowed Bryle to rotate up there, if he picked up a rune or something, but he just seemed to walk over. Roll away from Fear is going to keep him safe. March, he needs a TP. Nothing, really nothing else can keep him safe but an early TP. He is level 3 on the Lich, the PA level 4, and will now TP down to the bottom lane. And here goes March once again. Being aggressed on. Miracle. Blade Fury. Easy kill. And March is just that in this game. Meanwhile, mid lane. Z-Freak, Carapace is up but gets banished. Sanity's Eclipse will end the bug. Bryle sparing no expense to get that kill before the Dazzle TP's in. Limp doesn't even have a level engrave, but just ensuring it. And Bryle getting some momentum now on the OD. Nearing that level 8 mark. But still, the Radiant having a great early game, all things considered. Monkey's forever playing well on the Batrider, but is only level 3 alongside the other supports. Really the major disparity up at the top and between the PA and the Jug. 6-4. When you're relegated to farming neutrals early on, that will happen. Any big item pickups to speak of? Oh, well, maybe I should have thought of the hero kills to speak of, as the Earth Spirit does end up going down. Didn't look like much. Just caught him with a Shadow Wave, Poison Touch, and ran him down here. No Infernal Blade even needed? That's pretty surprising. Midas already on death, as I've already clicked on him. Nothing major picked up yet across the board aside from him. But he is by far and away the top net worth in the game. And against an OD, a Doom is a wonderful hero to have had a good game. Forev working on his Blink is 1,400 gold on the way there, so certainly not bad for the Magnus either. But the entire top 3 of the net worth chart occupied currently by compLexity members. March just trying to soak some experience. Z-Freak out in no man's land is going to be taken out. RP used? Yeah, they did end up using the RP. Apologies for the T-Tours the last couple of kills, guys. A couple of people a little deep behind enemy lines. The Nyx is not even 6, so not really sure. He must have been warding. A little curious as to what he was doing there. Meanwhile, move forward. Doom is ready, and they do have this vision down the Radiant side. So they'll just take the creeps away. And Miracle top lane. Backing, now knowing that the dire side has seen his team make their move up the hill, he is forced to back away. So smart play from the carry player. Dire side scan in the trees. It's an interesting one. Alright, so we could see a fight break out here momentarily. Bottom as Fear looking maybe to wrap on the Doom. They know how much he's worth right now. They do not have an RP, but they do have a skewer. Roll forward, connects. Fear is going to be there. Shockwave brings him in. They get the silence off as well. PA coming through. 2-man impale. One is dodged by Moo. They will imprison him now, and Zivrik is pretty much forced to watch his comrade die. Beautifully timed skewer. They do end up dooming the OD, but he's very healthy. And everyone will extract themselves on the J.Storm side. So Doom is off the board for the next little bit. No RP used, recall, as it was used earlier. Oh, God. Omni Slash popped off mid, but Blur's level 1, and it does its job. He actually used the active to go invisible there, I think. Is that a thing? I don't think that's a thing. Do you get momentary? I'm not sure. It was level 1 Omni Slash, so it's probably just an evade on the attacks in between. I don't think you can't actually evade the jumps. So in any case, PA survives. Omni Slash is used. They do end up getting the tier 1, however, despite not having Doom or Omni. Just during the reset of J.Storm. And definitely look for Cole to kind of anticipate a counterplay with these ultimates off the board. Moo switching to Strength Treads there for a moment. May have some idea that this is happening. Jumps up to kill off the Necro units. Z-Freak hanging around. March knows he's there. They do have the Sentry up on the high ground. But they don't have enough mana on Forev to fight. Bryle working on the Force Staff, pretty close. It's always tough when you got two cores farming the same area of the map simultaneously. Miracle going to make his way into Roche. Death can certainly tank this. And they do have the Dazzle as well. It doesn't feel like the Dire have any idea this is happening. There's no vision anywhere in the area. And in fact, conversely, the Radiant have great vision on J.Storm. So a free Roche going to go the way of compLexity here. Unfortunate placement of this sentry is actually missing this ward here. So really nice cheeky spot from the Radiant. Generally speaking, it's more towards the middle, but just for the sake of keeping it up and knowing that both these tier 1 towers are down, it's actually a very, very good ward. Force Staff is up for Bryle. He's really the only silver lining for this J.Storm lineup. I mean, the Magnus had a good start, but hasn't done much with it. I mean, they get the one Nyx kill with the RP. And they'll look to trade towers here. It'll be an unfavorable trade as they'll lose a tier 2 and maybe even some damage on their tier 3, but they're going to begin TPing back on March. And TP back on the Magnus as well. But it doesn't feel like compLexity necessarily want to hit up high ground at this point. Miracle going to get caught by a Shockwave. Well, as I say that, they do see 2 heroes bottom, or at least one. Magnus does have a regen rune. Glyph is going to be expended here. They have a Blink Dagger on the Magnus. Miracle, though, of course, does have the Aegis. He is going to get connected on. He'll be a little bit late on the Boulder Smash from Fear, but he'll force out the Blade Fury at least. Jump forward, lasso, skewer back, though, and now the Batrider is totally isolated out. It is going to give them time to take out the tier 3, though, and as he's been doing all game... What? RP? Oh, no. This is a disaster! Okay, everyone back to base. RP, not sure what it was used on, but Monkey's creating space once again. Forev perhaps wanting to stop or feign cast that and was unable to do so. And now, no RP and Aegis still available for compLexity. 18 minutes in here, they're threatening racks. Sinister Gaze is there, bowl forward, but they will get the spin-off. Spike Carapace onto the Earth Spirit. He'll get low. The Blade Fury will finish him off. Omni Slash through Brow. He's forced to imprison himself, and he's probably going to die because of it. And the Omni Slash makes its way south to find the Lich. And there's still an Aegis on this Juggernaut. Alright, Juggernaut better than PA, I guess, guys. Confirmed. Game 1 and Game 2. This is out of hand. There's still Tier 2 standing in the other 2 lanes. And the full racks has been taken top. There's still healthy Tier 2s in the other lanes. Sub 20 minutes, they're going to lose a lane of racks. And really not much for it, just Monkeys, who is effectively the 5 position in this game. I mean, Z-Freak's building a Yules, and Monkeys does have a Naked Blink, so he's a little more farmed. He is a Batrider, though. You expect him to be able to farm more than a Nyx. So we'll call him the 4. But he's been playing fantastic. The stat line doesn't necessarily show it, 3-3 and 1. But his lane just went very, very, very well for his squad. And sometimes stats do lie, Nahaz. Sometimes they do. Although I'm sure Nahaz could come up with a stat that would quantify how good of a game he's had. We talked about this in the draft screen a little bit, the Astral Imprisonment counter to the lasso, but still, he was able to pull him out far enough that Forever goes down. He does have buyback, 600 gold, and RP is available once he expends it. And this looks like it may just be the last-ditch effort. As Aegis still up for another 30 seconds. Aegis will expire in 30 seconds. Fear on the south side going to look to open on Monkeys. Miracle going to get silenced up, brought low and not down. He does kind of want to die here, though. And there it is. The Aegis will be expended. Meanwhile, on the north side, they find the Doom on the OD. And that'll be a kill. And this is near the hour of reckoning. 60 seconds on the sideline, no OD, full HP and mana pool, Miracle, Juggernaut. He's got the Omni Slash as well. And that's 2 lanes of racks. Creep Wave approaching bottom lane. And this game, much like Game 1, in the first 20 minutes, has been lopsided. Perhaps even more so. Definitely even more so. Last game took 42 minutes to close out. This one ain't looking like it'll take that long. Death just farming out of control. Max Devour build. Right click that shit. It's on autocast. Magnus trying to set up. And he just fakes it out this time. Will now get the RP. Can they follow it up? Chainfrost is pretty good, but it bounces away from the 2 initial heroes. Sandy's Eclipse does a lot of damage. Sinister Gaze will kill off the Doom. Now the lasso in the back lines. Can they follow it up just yet? Nice imprison on the OD, but the Omni Slash is going to do a lot of damage. Still, everyone's surviving from the dire side, but now with the Blade Fury, they get low. They'll bring down the OD, but it'll be an ultra kill for the PA. 3,200 gold on Moo's person. It's still an 18k net worth lead. But yeah, empowered PA can do some things, especially with an RP. And very little other damage other than the PA on top of that RP. The Chain Frost, of course, we saw bouncing between the Juggernaut and the Doom, but it did bounce away after a couple of hits. And overall, you know, it's still net 4,000 experience roughly and net 3,200 gold going the way of the Dire, but you are down 2 racks 22 minutes in. And there's really nothing for you to take off the back of that team fight win, so it's really just a win for the sake of a win. It is a full SNY and Vlad's now for Moo's PA, but still, he's not even as farmed as Limp's Dazzle. And so this is going to get real difficult. Do we see a gem? Not in this game, so no gem picked up by compLexity just yet, unless it's flying out. It is not. A pair of Greaves. But they're mostly concerned about Roche. Z-Freak will take a look, but it won't be up for 15 seconds or so. So they look for a quick pick. Just like a lottery ticket. Just a quick pick before we can get into the Roche pit. Jump forward, Monkeys into the Firefly. Blur, nicely used by Moo, and the initiation comes. They'll blink away on the Batrider though, and the Doom immediately goes in and finds his man. That's the Outworld Devourer, forced back to base. Fear gonna go down on the Earth Spirit. The OD next to fall. Buyback comes out from Fear, but it's all for naught at this point. RP does connect nicely onto a couple. There's a silence there from Fear as well, but the lasso keeps the Phantom Assassin in place, and she's also gonna be blinking away on no HP and falling. She'll buy back, but 3 heroes down, no buybacks. They're really going to need some skewer plays into the fountain at this point. Miracle does go into the fountain, but not long enough. And with the Ghost Scepter, Firefly, Monkeys doing his thing on the Batrider this game. Looking like an MVP performance for him. And calling the game lame just to boot. 24 minutes, guys. Game 2 in the books. compLexity come roaring back after a very methodical, systematic win in Game 1 from J.Storm. compLexity do fantastically. And you can see just from the horn, everything going in their way. I mean, this Juggernaut had absolute free farm all game long. For Miracle, and look at the Doom on death. No one even close in this one. Anyways, guys, that's game 2. It's all squared up here. Winner gonna make it onto the upper bracket to face Flying Penguins. Winner of that series is in the 3rd DPC major of the season. So major stakes for this 3rd game in this decider match. 3rd game decider coming up next. MRP BTS here bringing you the coverage.